1, 2, 3.
I really want to talk about my favorite and my least favorite game presentations and announcements from the Future Game Show. But the thing is, it was a wild roller coaster full of highs and lows for game advertisement. But most importantly, it really did give a multitude of aspiring creators an outlet to present or announce their passion-filled work. So immediately, before we even get into that, let's talk about the only ones who've truly lost at this event. These fuckers have really managed to do it again. Before this event even took place, if you looked up Future Game Show 2022, without any keywords relating to Sonic or Sega, the first results you'd receive are a host of videos advertising the confirmation of Sega's attendance at this event, but also the likelihood of them showing off one of their upcoming Sonic games. Sega didn't show up. The entire event, the live chat was filled with two things: LEGO fans holding their plates out, getting ready for the greatest goddamn feast of their lives, and Sonic fans sitting right next to them, begging loudly for scraps. First-person shooter rhythm game. This phrase sounds like a completely new concept because of how much the ideas of a first-person shooter and a rhythm game contrast each other. In actuality, it's already been done before. The rhythm game genre has become so wonderfully and sporadically unique and diverse that it stretches itself into other genres and categories of games almost naturally. One of the most famous rhythm games features lightsabers and is also in VR. And all of this only makes it that much more impressive that Gun Jam is as wonderfully expressive and beautifully unique as it is. It exists as this cel-shaded dreamlike wonderland, but somehow achieves such aesthetic achievement with a carefree flow, as if completely unaware of the mountains it's surrounded by in this genre. It appears to be catchy, entertaining, and grasping. From a gunshot to a snap of the fingers, Gun Jam might just be a showstopper. My personal favorite from the event? Midnight Ghost Hunt. It came as a shock to me. The passion and the sweat of everyone who touched this project was seeping out of my monitor in the beginning seconds of the trailer. I had just learned of this game's existence, but in the following moments, I had also learned that the game was dropping as soon as next week. Their inspirations were obvious, but never in any way appeared to take away from their originality. They took the mold of a classic 4v4 multiplayer game and bent it into a catalyst for their own creative expression. It's a game with a very simple core concept. It's about ghost hunting. But the freedom in gameplay is plentiful. There's stuff here that you would just honestly expect to be in a game about ghost hunting. But the amount of weaponry and mechanics they did get creative with is insane. You got this thing called a spectral cannon that can be both a vacuum and a minigun. You got a shotgun that shoots salt. But you can also decide to be a ghost instead of a hunter and start turning invisible, possessing furniture, or even pretend you're one of the hunters. And then once it turns midnight, the hunters become the hunted, and the ghosts become infinitely more powerful. This seems to be Vaulted Sky Games' first project, but they do not in any way come off as amateurs. Coffee Stain published Goat Simulator, Valheim, and Deep Rock Galactic. They are most obviously a publisher who knows what games they should publish, in which developers truly care for their work. It appears they have once again struck gold.
We're keeping those world premieres coming with our next trailer. This is a game where you play golf with cars. I feel like there's a pun here. Driving, like driving a car, but also driving a golf ball.
John, no, please. Our poor viewers.
Okay. But we both know there are so many great puns in the chat right now.
Turbo Golf Racing was the weakest game in the opening moments for me. It's apparent that a game critic's first critique of this game would be that it seems too similar to Rocket League, at least in its presentation. So, to alleviate this, the game tries its hardest to show every similarity it has to Rocket League in this single trailer. It's not that the game looks unenjoyable at all, but its game trailer really does seem like a missed opportunity. Golf and mini golf courses can be such interesting, unique, and vast environments, which is why it's so disappointing that the map in this trailer is so bland and uninteresting. It's just this long and empty plot of land, and there appears to be no twisting and turning paths. This map really looks more like a soccer field than a golf course. And the problem with that is Rocket League, but soccer is just Rocket League.
Hey John, did you know that this future game show is part of a brand new genre?
Is this something you've just made up, Ashley?
No. The producers told me that this year's event is actually a Strand type showcase.
Oh God, okay. Mozie Fresh fun fact. Hideo Kojima is actually my favorite video game designer and director of all time. Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, PT, every addition he makes to his work feels like a continuation of his being and a representation of his heart. Death Stranding was the first game Kojima published after a very hard time in his life. Konami canceled his highly anticipated upcoming project, Silent Hills. This game was in development from 2012 to 2015, and then after canceling the game completely, they fired him. But despite this, Death Stranding wasn't a depressing game. It was about connecting people and personal growth. It was buried in a sea of 20-minute cutscenes and exposition dumps. But ultimately, it was a game made to show heart, happiness, and connection. I have a lot of respect for it. Which is why it pains me to say this trailer served no purpose. It announces a PC port for the director's cut of Death Stranding, but in no way illustrates anything grasping or interesting about the game. The reason the PC port of God of War was so popular was partly because of the advertisement. The PC trailer displayed to viewers what people have said about the game, why PC players should be interested, and the benefits of having the PC version of the game. Half of the Death Stranding PC trailer is just recycled bits and pieces from previous trailers, which is extremely underwhelming. It shows viewers nothing they would have not already seen, and it offers no new perspective on the game. I obviously have my own personal opinions about each game presentation at this show, but objectively, LEGO completely decimated everything. They won. The first game LEGO showed off here was their new Star Wars game, which the chat was basically on their knees begging for the entirety of the show. It's a LEGO version of the entire Skywalker saga, which means it's most likely going to be the biggest LEGO Star Wars game ever made. It has a completely new mechanics, which is insane because it's a LEGO game, and LEGO games are usually pretty simple and have straightforward gameplay systems. Albeit these systems are still enjoyable. But the fact that this is a completely refined LEGO Star Wars game with possibly the biggest scope of any Star Wars game ever has made it one of the most anticipated games of the year for so many people. So that seems like it'd be all they need to show for one event. But they decided that no, they weren't done yet. And they decided to take one more world premiere at the very end of the show. It's a LEGO action-adventure RPG, where you do what you actually do with Legos in real life. My God, I haven't seen a flex so massive since Insomniac announced Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine in the same PlayStation showcase. I mean, there cannot possibly be anything that could beat this. Is that Mythbusters the game? Oh, and it runs at a solid frame rate of 2 FPS. I was wrong. This is the winner.